Welcome back to Red Hawk Media's Virtual Academy, and this is day 31 of doing this. And we've got today and we've got Thursday, and those are the last two live streams that will happen for the school year. As the school district has said, there will be no new instruction after May 21st. There's just a remedial, which means that if you need to get caught up on anything, that's your chance to get caught up on all this stuff. Otherwise, this week is the last week of true deadlines for projects. And that takes me over to Schoology. So let's take a look at what we've got up and coming here. And on Schoology, taking a look at all of this, for Digital Media 2, today, by the end of the day, one of the sections of Digital Media 2 has the audio manager, which is due. Make sure that you refer back to the instruction that was included on the live stream last week for the audio manager. The link is in that assignment there, and that'll help you get back to that and do everything you need to do for the audio manager. But looking ahead for Digital Media 2, we have the final game build. Now, we have been working throughout this whole unit of all the different elements of the 2D game, and this is the final build. This is the big one. This is the summative. This is what's going to wrap up the school year for Digital Media 2. And then looking at Digital Media 1, of course, you're working on the radio show, which we'll be giving more instruction about that today, focusing on some of the details for recording yourself. And then for web design, we're looking at the e-commerce site that we've been working on in Wix. Today I'm going to show you how to add collaborators to that, so that when it comes time to actually share that site with me, I'll be able to see what it is that you've been putting together. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to hop over, and the first stop here is Digital Media 2. And I'm going to switch over actually to a few of the games here that I wanted to highlight, which have been really well put together. And this is where I wanted to start before I jump into the rubric of the actual game design unit here, or for the 2D game. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, and again, a lot of creative games going on here. This is Madison's game. Okay, and she's got moving platforms. She's got enemies. It looks really nice. Everything is really well put together. And here's the next one here, just to give you an idea of some of the different games that are out there. Okay, this is Trevor's game, and Trevor went a little bit more old school with this, which I really appreciate. And he's got some different effects that he's got going on. Trevor is an ex-game design person here. And you can see that he's got his enemy all set up and destroyed, and his coin counter and all that stuff. All right, take a look at the next one, which is Super Bright. Totally Powderpuff Girls here. And this is Chloe's game. And very nicely done. Everything looks really good in this game too. Super colorful, great use of all of the sprites, very creative. All right, in the next one here, this is Kellen's game. And Kellen has added some different takes on all of this stuff. He's got his enemy there. Looks like he's got to lock down that Z rotation on his enemy so it doesn't rotate like that. But that looks good. Looks really good. All right, and just to give a peek of where this evolves to for the future, so that you have an idea of what it is that gets done in game design. This is the 3D game unit in game design class. So using a lot of the same skills that we've been working on in the 2D game unit here in Digital Media 2, these are some of the things that get put together in that game design class once we start exploring 3D. This is built off of a micro game that's in Unity, but Eltone put like his own twist on this and added a bunch of features. That's really sweet. All right, so I just wanted to give you a peek at that first, and then we're going to bring it back here. Okay, so the big thing that I really want to look at here is on Schoology, and that's that new assignment for Digital Media 2. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the class here and take a look at Game Design Unit. And in here at the top, you'll see that there's a 2D platform game final build. Okay, and this is your last and final assignment of everything. And the big thing that I want to show you here is in the rubric. The directions are above, of course, but here is the rubric. And let me put this up to full screen. My apologies here. And let's get zoomed in on this. I'm going to bring up this rubric so that we can see what exactly we're looking at here. All right, so we're talking 2D platform game. All the points are broken down here for all the different elements that we worked on throughout the unit. So a fully animated character means that you switched out the sprites, you put your own animations in there. It is not Robot Boy. It is your fully animated character. If you have Robot Boy still going into the final build, you are going to lose those 10 points right out of the gates. Okay, then enemies, making sure that you have working enemies, not just enemies that are patrolling back and forth, but enemies that you can actually land on and crush. Okay, working health bar, that's like all of it. So like the health bar should go down when you hit obstacles. The game over screen, you can see that's on there. And then the obstacles are included with that too as well. Whether it's acid spikes, you know, your enemies, making sure that they take life, all of that stuff should have an impact on your health bar, and it should trigger that game over screen. So that whole health system here, there's some points that are wrapped into that. Then we have the start screen. So very early on when we were talking about moving from one scene to another, we talked about the start screen. Came right after the game over screen, kind of shows right in the same tutorial of how to put down, how to do the win screen. And if you have level 1 linked up to a level 2, you should be able to link up level 2 to a win screen. Okay, they're all different scenes, so you'll have 4 scenes all together. You'll have your start scene, you'll have level 1, manager, that's going on. There'll be switches of some sort, there'll be a switch counter, there'll be the door animation, so you'll have your emphasis on the on. I should bring up Peyton's game right now. He's got this incredible level that's really well. Go out the exit. Waves of enemies that actually come in on the level. There's a lot of fun stuff actually that people came up with. And then I'll show some of the micro karting game options too, to give you an idea of things that were put together on this. But really well done overall. I've been super impressed with coffee time. All right. But I've been super impressed with the overall quality of all the stuff that's been put together here, and you've been doing a phenomenal job with that. Those of you that have been participating right along, it looks really good. So just make sure that everything is turned in up to the end of the year. As you know, no new content after May 21st. Given the nature of the 3D game, there's not much more we can do with the time frame that we've got. So continue to experiment in those micro games and learn more of the features that are in there. Excellent. That wraps up game design, and that's going to take us over to video production 2. And let me see if I can clear this. Person base, which I'm looking forward to, because you've been a great group. So I'm going to wrap up video production 2 here and move on. Okay. So the last class, as I'm sending this over here, is Digital Media 1. And in Digital Media, we're working on the radio show. And the radio show has a number of different elements that you have to include. We should, at this point, have songs that are all lined up in our playlist, so to speak, in GarageBand in our project. So you've got a number of songs that are actually laid in there, and your project should be getting kind of long and cumbersome and more difficult to deal with here. And then at the end of last week on the live stream, I talked about DJ drops. I gave a video showing the DJ drops being recorded, and in that video he was using another program, but it showed the process of how he put the DJ drops together. Now, we're not using that program to put together the DJ drops, just to be clear, and I thought that was clear as I previewed it last week, but we are using GarageBand, the same exact project that you're working on right now, to create your DJ drops. And the one thing that keeps coming up over and over again is, how do I record my voice into GarageBand? Well, here are a couple simple ways to go about this. So that's going to be my big focus for today for Digital Media One is, you know, some different strategies for you to record your own voice to get it into your radio show, and make sure that it's actually like quality so it sounds good, because you want to sound like a DJ as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just send this over here. I'm going to get rid of our little name thing at the top so we can see exactly what's going on. And let's send that. And first things first, I'm going to bring up GarageBand. Okay, and here is a representation of your radio show program. And the big thing right now is you need to record your own audio. Your DJ drop, your DJ transitions, and your radio commercials, which are all your commercials, which are 30 seconds a piece. I believe it's 3 different commercials that you have to come up with, 3 different ones. You're recording those. Okay, and you're putting those into your timeline. You're using your voice. You're not grabbing it from somewhere else. You're not downloading it. If you want to recycle an idea from another commercial, that's fine, but it's all you that's putting it together. Now, the big thing that a lot of people were asking about is the recording of the voice. So, first big thing, as you can see right now, I've got a track that's picking up my voice. A lot of people were saying that they didn't have this though. So, what you want to do is you want to add on a new track that's going to be specific to your voice. It actually helps if throughout your project you put all your recordings onto that one track. I mean, that's one way to do it. You can do it however works best for you for organization. But I created a new track, and obviously I'm looking to use the microphone track here. And right away, when I create that new track, you should see the green going up, and it should be picking up your voice. Now, this is working off of the internal mic in your laptop. Okay, so there's a mic that's basically situated at the top of your screen. It's picking you up. It's not the best quality mic, but given our circumstances, it'll work fine for what you need to do in recording. Now, for some odd reason, you're not seeing the green on here. The big thing that I can tell you is to check your system preferences. So right away, there's 2 places that you're going to look. I'm going to go up to the Apple, go to System Preferences, and then I'm going to actually head into the sound part of all this. So second row on the far right here, zoom in. Once I get into the sound, the big tab that we're really interested in is the input tab. And you can see right now the input is set up for my internal microphone, okay, which is the built-in microphone that's on my computer. It'll be on your computer as well. And then I just want to make sure that this is turned up decently. So this is a great place to check your volume levels to make sure that it's picking you up well. Otherwise, when you're recording GarageBand, it's going to be all muffled and it's going to be barely recognizable for your own voice here. So you can set these levels to whatever you need to set them at. Okay, and then after you got that input there, the output is going to be the same thing as the speakers or whatever you have plugged in for earbuds or AirPods or anything like that. Okay, and that's basically what you need to check here on the sound part of this in the system preferences. Just make sure if you're plugging something else in to record, a USB mic, if you're plugging in your headphone GarageBand itself, there is preferences. So if you go to GarageBand and you go to preferences here, you're going to get another list of things that are going to help you make sure that the sound is working properly. So if I go into the actual sound icon again, the second one in here, I can take a look at this and you can see output and input just like my system preferences for the whole system. Now I've got it so that it's on the system setting, which means whatever my laptop system preferences are set to, it's going to follow. Okay, now if for some reason it's not working, I can go ahead and I can go to built-in output so that it comes out of my speakers or whatever I want. The input one is the one that we're really working on here. The built-in microphone or the system setting, if you've got that properly set up, those are the 2 settings that you want to be on here so that you can actually record your own voice. Now, say again, for some odd reason, you're still having an issue, because it seems like whenever we get into this part, when it comes to somebody recording their own voice, there's loads of excuses of why it didn't work. So I'm going to give you 3 different options here. Here's the second option. If GarageBand does not work whatsoever, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over views here at this point so you can see this as I illustrated here. Okay, if GarageBand doesn't work, then at that point you pick up your phone. Okay, and your phone is an amazing recording device. All right, the microphone quality is actually quite good as long as you don't put it too close to your mouth. Okay, you set that up, get into a small room. I actually advise people to record in their closets. Your closet has a lot of clothing in it, you know, and it's got a lot of things that will deaden the sound and you won't get a lot of echo. That's actually a great place for you to record. If you record in a great big like open room with a high ceiling or something like that, or your garage or anything like that, you're gonna get loads of, oh, my phone's blowing up. You're gonna get loads of like echo and it's gonna be annoying. So keep that in mind. Now on your phone, when you are using that, you have a built-in, if you have an iPhone, you have a built-in app. I'm gonna throw that up here. And that is your voice memos. Now, voice memos is built into your phone. If you don't have it, hop onto the App Store, look for voice memos. This is the icon for it, and just download that. And it's really, really easy because after I record, I can just hit share, and just like all the same icons that we're used to on our laptops and that, I can share. I can airdrop it right to my laptop, and then I can just take that MP3 and drag it right into my GarageBand file. Okay, so that's another way to record. Now, if for some reason that is not working for you still at that point, because this always happens, the third and final way that you can record yourself, you can go ahead and use QuickTime Player. Now, QuickTime Player is built in on your laptop. Everybody's got that on there. It's installed on everyone's machine. If you just do a Spotlight search for QuickTime, it'll pop up. Okay, but you can bring this up as well. Okay, and in here, I'm just going to click Done. I'm going to go right up to the main menu here. So I'm going to go up to File. And in here, what I'm going to do is not a new screen recording, which we've been using quite frequently for a lot of our homework. We're going to do a new audio recording. It's going to pop up a little window here. And let me move this over here so it's not too much to look at. And in here, the big thing that I want to do is, right now you can see that it's not picking me up. Okay, there's no activity on the sound whatsoever. It's not bouncing up and down. So I want to come in here, and this is where I would actually use my internal microphone. And now at that point, you can see it's actually picking me up. Now, I make sure that you're in a good place to record again with this. You record, you stop recording, name it, whatever it is, commercial 1, commercial 2, commercial 3, DJ transition 1, 2, or 3, or 4. I can't remember how many there are, but look at the rubric. And then your DJ drops as well. Now, after you get all that stuff put together, okay, you're moving all of it into GarageBand, so they're all MP3s. You'll be able to drag them into your project and then line them up with your songs accordingly. Remember, your goal is 30 minutes overall. So like you've got your songs eating up some of that time, but the time that's left over, you're filling in with those DJ transitions, DJ drops. Which brings me to the last and final thing. For your DJ drops, as we talked about, as you got the example from last week in the live stream, that's all about your name, the station name, the station number. And one of the questions that came up is, are we making those things up? Yeah, you can totally make up your own station name. Come up with your own station name. Come up with your own DJ name. Come up with your own number that's actually on the dial between the, whatever it is, 88, 87.8? I can't remember what the lowest one is. And then I think it goes all the way up to like 108. I think 108. Somewhere along there on the frequency bandwidth. But pick a number in there. And then go ahead and create your station name, station number, your own DJ name, and then create those DJ drops. And remember, they're highly manufactured. So after you record yourself in here, the big thing is you get your track selected, get it all lined up. Now, I don't want any of the background sound as I do this, so I go ahead and mute the rest of these usually when I'm doing this, because you got all those songs and all that other stuff in there. And now at this point, I make sure that my track is selected, and I just hit record. And now I'm recording my own voice. I'm going through whatever it is. Hey, welcome back to WIBA 101.5, blah, blah, blah. All right, and you put that all on there. When you're done, you hit record again, it stops, and then you stop the actual playlist, and then you can go back and you can actually listen to the playback of that. Now, as we know, DJ drops are highly manufactured, so that's a great time to come in here to the drawer setting, and I can go to voice, and I can do some of the different voice things here. So like tube vocal is kind of a fun one for this because it adds a little bit of reverb and echo onto it. And then let's see if I can play this back without blowing up my system here. Let's see here. Hit record. And now I'm recording my own voice. I'm going through whatever. Sometimes they do the goofy, making it sound like they're talking through a phone. Hit record. And now I'm recording my own voice. I'm going through whatever it is. Okay. So we've got all those different things that we can do here with this. Have fun mixing it up. Bright vocal is actually a really good one to give like a full rich sound. And then if you switch over to that, don't forget that you can also edit these as well. So you want to add a little bit more bass to your voice, go for it. Okay, mid-frequency, echo, let's put a little bit of echo on, just enough. And then let's add a little bit of more reverb. And then I come in here. And now I'm recording my own voice. I'm going through too much echo. Hey, welcome back to WIBA 101.5. Ooh, we're getting there. All right, and that's kind of how you can do that. And you saw in the last week on the live stream, take a look at that video. The link is in the description of that particular live stream. I think that was Thursday. If not, it was Tuesday, one of the two. Take a look at it, look at the description, and go to that video because he shows you how you can cut it. He shows you how you can repeat different parts, add echo on, all kinds of different basic stuff that you would do with the DJ drop. So that covers DJ drops. DJ transitions, not about the station name, not about the number, not about your name. It's about the basic information that you use to connect your material together. So you've got song 1 going into song 2, let's say. If you hop in between those two and you say, okay, well, thank you for that. That was the Red Hot Chili Peppers with Higher Ground. And now we're heading on to, and then that's a basic DJ transition. The big reminder that I give people all the time with DJ transitions is it's very, very infrequent that the DJ transition or the commercials or the DJ drops are just voice. There's always music in the background. So if I could stress anything for all of those to make sure that you put together some quality work for the radio show, include music in the background. That's where your loops come in handy. I'd hop over to my loops at that point. I'd look at some of the different stingers that are in there, and then I'd bring in that so that it's in the background, much lower than my voice, but it's behind my voice, and then I can lay that in there, and it helps fill the space. It makes it sound a little bit more like a legitimate radio show. All right, that was a lot. Okay, but hopefully that gives a lot of people help on the different things that they were talking about. If you still have questions or you're still having some challenges with different things, or you want to know more about some of the specifics on this, I'm on Google Meet from 11 to noon today and on Thursday. And then otherwise, if it's in between those times, just shoot me an email or drop me a message on Schoology, and I will get back to that as well. I'm all caught up on all of the grades pretty much that have been turned in, so I am just focusing on answering your questions as they come in. Okay, and that pretty much brings us to a close for today. Okay, that's everything. Oops, didn't want to go that way. I want to go this way. All right, and I'm going to wrap this all up today with just a quick reminder. If you need any help with anything, Google Meet 11 to noon. You've got the link. It's on Schoology, same one we've been using since the dawn of time here. Also, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email or send me a message on Schoology. But whatever you need, just go ahead and send that to me and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. That's what I'm doing with my time when I'm not on the live stream, is just responding to people and setting up times to Google Meet with them. And that brings me to the last part. If you can't meet 11 to noon, shoot me an email. Let's figure out a time, and then I'll meet with you so that we can walk through any of the things that are going on with your project or any questions that you have. This is the second to last live stream here for the year. Okay, Thursday will be the last new content for the school year. These are all the last assignments that are actually in right now. So for those of you that do need to catch up, get this stuff done, catch up, go back, rework things. Deadlines are open. It's pretty flexible. It's a great chance for you to go back and make sure your grade is what you need it to be. Okay, you've got that time to do that. Just make sure you're communicating with me as you do that stuff. If you turn things in, drop me an email to let me know so that I can go back, add them in. Okay, and that pretty much wraps it up for today. Thanks for joining us for another virtual academy on Red Hawk Media. This has been day 31 of lesson work here, and we'll see you again come Thursday. Bye.